Hello everyone, my name is Chance Brunton and welcome back to the StarCraft II Legacy of the Void campaign. Now, it's been a little while since I played. That's because my studies and things have gotten in the way. I'm a senior electrical engineering student, and that takes precedence. But I'm very excited to get back on track for Legacy of the Void and complete the campaign, as well as moving on to other projects after that. Now, Raynor has a problem. He's fighting with Amon's forces in the Dominion, and they have taken out the stabilizers on an orbital platform so that it will fall into the planet and destroy the city of Augustgrad. And so now we have said that we will make sure this does not happen. And that leaves Raynor and his boys free to engage on the front line and fight Amon's forces head on. So that's our mission in this episode. Get to the orbital platform and prevent it from falling into the city of Augustgrad, annihilating the city at all costs. Alright, let's go. Completing bonus objectives will give you more Solarite, which can be used to power up the Spear of Adun. Okay. So I guess Solarite, it must be the kind of currency we have to upgrade. This is still pretty early in the campaign, so we are still in the process of unlocking a lot of major mechanics that will factor in later. Solarite must be the upgrade mechanic that... probably the permanent upgrade mechanic, because there was an option we unlocked last episode to configure our forces a little bit, and we did that, but that was malleable. We could go back and change that later if we want. This is probably something a little bit more permanent.
This ain't good. Sky Shield's not gonna last much longer. At this rate, we've got maybe 10 minutes left till it lands smack dab on our capital.
Your
That's not what you
suspicions
wanted.
were correct, Commander. Mobius Core is disabling the platform's atmospheric stabilizers as we speak.
The damage appears repairable, Hierarch.
That's what I want to hear.
Assuming Mobius Core leaves anything left to repair. Artanis, if you can clear out those troops, my boys can patch up those stabilizers. That should buy us some extra time.
Perfect!
We must move quickly. It will take the combined power of all 5 stabilizers to halt the platform's descent.
Alright, let's go. So we don't even have to worry about the repair, we just have to take them in the first place. That simplifies our job immensely. Now, let's see. Sky Shield will crash in just under 8 minutes, according to the timer in the upper right-hand
The
corner.
central stabilizer is nearby. Securing it first will deliver us a staging ground to assault the other 4.
Okay, so they're gonna kind of give us the first one pretty cheaply, I guess, to get us started. But then it's gonna be up to us to take the rest. Let's go ahead and use these zealots to get some minerals and Vespene gas to help jumpstart our economy a little bit. We've started producing zealots, we are producing probes to increase our mineral harvesting. We're also building some dragoons for some ranged firepower from behind the zealots. And I want to start in on some upgrades, but at the moment, it's like all I can do to spend the money on troops and probes. So we'll just keep spending a little bit of time here, building up our economy, constructing additional pylons. I should have been paying attention to that, but I wasn't. We do not have the supply limit to be able to build more units, so we're going to get supply blocked and not be able to construct anything. We'll send that probe to build a pylon. We'll build it towards the front of the base so that it can power defenses.
Mobius Core is moving against us. Karax, activate the Spear of Adun's weapons cluster.
The what now?
Bombardment systems online. Prepare for orbital strike.
That sounds good. And it's looking very good. Humans, take that with your nukes. Holy crap. It's much better than a nuclear strike.
Orbital strikes can now be fired from the Spear of Adun's command panel, Hierarch.
Oh, yes. You should not have given me this kind of power. Anyway, we'll let a couple more Dragoons pop out and then we'll go. Actually, no. It's great. It's a pretty small force up ahead. We're just going to go with what we've got. And this time we get to test out our new units. These Zealots should teleport up to their cloak and charge the enemy. Perfect. And the Dragoon will fire from a long distance. The Dragoon's not so important here. This is not really a good showcase of his talents. But it is a better showcase of the Zealots. Avoiding being seen as they get to the enemy.
Durability calculations updated.
Commander, your construction vehicles can begin the repairs.
Thanks, Artanis. My boys are putting a sensor tower here. Should alert you if Mobius Core swings through this area.
Thank you.
I am detecting an electromagnetic weapon ahead. Its pulse will slowly damage our ship.
Oh, and the game crashed. Okay, and we're back. So I followed some of Blizzard's online troubleshooting tips, I repaired game files, and hopefully, whatever the problem was, it's sorted out now. So I have replayed the mission up till this point, getting back... I knew I forgot something, I didn't pick up those resource pellets. But now I've gotten back up to the point where I can take this thing again, and we've got 5 minutes to go until Sky Shield crashes. Hopefully... we can save it before then. Now, if I don't remember because it crashed like right after we did this, but if we save the stabilizer, yeah, we get more time on the clock. Now we have just under 9 minutes.
Calculations updated. I am detecting an electromagnetic weapon ahead. Its pulse will slowly damage our shields. We should destroy it if possible.
Okay.
Completing bonus objectives will allow me to improve the Spear of Adun's power level in the future.
Right. So our upgrades. So what, do we get Solitaire or Solatron Knight or whatever it is for that? Probably. That Solanite or whatever it is probably the material used to upgrade our ship. And that's what we get if we destroy... Yeah, Solarite, it says in the upper left-hand corner. I'm an idiot. I need to read the actual objectives more. Upper left-hand says +5 Solarite for every Scrambler for a total of +15 in this mission. Okay. We need additional pylons in order to train any more troops, so let's go ahead and queue up a couple of pylons. I'm floating a lot of minerals. That means that I've got a lot of minerals that are going unspent, building up in reserve, which is not good, because they're not doing anything for me if I'm not spending them. So I need to work on that. The main block is the supply, so I've used some of my extra minerals to build a bunch of extra pylons. If I was timing things out correctly and building my production lines and everything, then I shouldn't have to do that. But I am not great at this, so I will have to spam some pylons now and then. Now, we're attacking in here. Those Hellions are going to rip our Zealots apart. We are taking heavy losses, but I think we will manage to win here, probably? Yeah, really heavy losses. Let's go back to base, and let's make sure we're training up additional troops. Another thing we can spend our money on if we have too much, which we do, is additional production facilities so that we can spend more of it. So we'll build some additional gateways, queue up some more probes.
Mobilizing an attack against our nexus point. Rally our defenses.
And now we're going to pull all our troops back to base for this attack. Now, we need to make sure our upgrades are in line. We got the weapons upgrade. Next, we need to get shields upgrade, probably? Maybe? Or no. Actually, I think I recall hearing somewhere that armor was actually better. I'm not sure. Shields will also affect buildings, but I think armor is technically more effective. Yeah, because units tend to have a lot more health than armor, so the armor upgrade would mean more for units. And I guess, really, our units are more important than our buildings, so we will stick with that. And why? Why have I not turned these gateways into warp gates? That is a ridiculous error on my part. So I am building additional warp gates now, out of the existing gateways, and now we can warp in units onto the field. So since we've got a lot of gas, let's start warping in some Dragoons. Let's move our people forward towards Raynor's base here. We want to kind of be in a position to protect that. We'll move towards the EMP scrambler in the lower right when we can warp in more units, which is now. And from there, we'll go to the Sky Shield stabilizer that's closest to that point. Now, Sky Shield crashes in 3 minutes, 30 seconds. So we've got to be very careful about that. We do not have long. Let's get this probe on a hotkey as well so that we can just like keep managing him and moving him forward. And always be building more units. Right now we mostly need more zealots, so we will queue those guys with top priority. Alright, we might...
Sky Shield's descent is rapidly approaching critical. We must repair a stabilizer, quickly.
Yeah, we really need to emphasize the stabilizers because the clock timer's ticking down quickly. Now, can these zealots take these guys out? Actually, yes. I'm very impressed. These zealots got ambushed by a little Dominion force, a little squad moving around, and I didn't think we had enough zealots to deal with that, but we did. So we can move to the stabilizer, or the scrambler.
The core is deeply entrenched in that location. An orbital strike would help weaken their defenses.
That's a good point. I probably should have done that. Oh well. Can this hurt us too? I don't know. Maybe. I might have just bombarded our own troops. But anyway, we can go through the stabilizer to get to the bonus objective of the scrambler.
Revising durability estimates.
Nice work. Got a repair crew inbound. Heads up. Looks like Mobius Core is starting to reinforce the stabilizers. Expect some heavier resistance.
Yeah.
My conjecture was correct. These Solarite reactors can be used to improve the solar core's energy output. I detect 2 more of these devices on the platform. If possible, you should seek them out.
Will do, Karax, will do. Yeah, basically all we can do at this point is build zealots, dragoons, upgrades, and forward pylons and the like. Basically what we're doing already right now. So we will just continue to do that. I suspect that from here on the mission's going to be pretty easy, because now we're going to start building up a giant force of people that can just roll over everyone. So, Solarite, our count of it seems to be in the... or at least our energy, not Solarite, our energy reserves for the Spear of a Dude are in the top middle of the screen. We can see a 200. Oh god, Seeker Missile. Oh, that worked out okay. Oh, our probe got taken out, though. That's not good. Let's warp in some reinforcements here. Because here come... the Terran forces... No, Zealots! Go! Go, Zealots! Intercept! Thank you!
A third stabilizer has been cleared of enemy forces.
Gotcha. Repairs underway.
We may have to pull some people back here.
You're sure pissing Mobius Core off. A lot of troops guarding the stabilizers. Make sure you got enough forces to engage.
Will do, Raynor, just as soon as I make sure that I have enough forces to defend my base. So we'll build a couple of extra probes so that we can take guys off the line to build stuff. We should have built some cannons in front of our base in order to provide an additional layer of defense, but we'll take care of that now. Oh, what the heck just happened to our troops? It looked like something bombarded them. Oh well. Let's build 3 photon cannons, bearing in mind that we can use excess money to warp in emergency reinforcements to defend our base like we just did in future. So we'll rely mostly on that to be able to defend our base. Now we really are hurting for zealots.
Warping aboard the Solarite reactor now.
Oh, we can deploy an emergency pylon. That will help with being supply blocked. It'll also help us keep up with our troops across the field. So let's, like, build a pylon there, and then use it to warp in some zealots. Yeah, I've not been making enough use of that ability this mission. I kind of forgot about it since they taught us about it. Alright, let's Let's move for the reactor in the upper left-hand corner. These Dragoons are not moving up enough. They're kind of blocking each other and preventing each other from firing. Let's use the Spear of Adun to take out some of these defenses. Good. Should have more heavily focused the bunkers a little bit. I didn't realize there wasn't a bunker in the middle because I was not paying adequate attention. I should have been paying more attention to that. But it is okay. We're gonna lose a little bit. Not too much. Oh, there's a tank. Let's focus down that tank as quickly as possible. Alright, let's deploy another pylon. Oh, actually that might have been a serious waste of energy.
Durability calculations updated.
Can they repair us?
Only one
No.
stabilizer still remains in enemy hands. We must make haste.
Now we've got some enemy forces incoming. We have to be careful about that. Where are they? Here they are. Let's warp in some Dragoons to help deal with that. We'll just leave our army in the upper portion of the map, just kind of sitting there. Oh no. Oh no. Oh gosh. We've got seeker missiles. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. They stopped attacking. Let's focus down those tanks, because those tanks are seriously going to pose a problem. Okay, and now our Dragoons can just mop up the rest. The EMP Scrambler is our next goal, because I worry that if we do not get it before we get the stabilizer, then the mission's going to end and then we won't get a reward. So we will get the Scrambler first. If we have more Zealots, it'll help keep our Dragoons alive. So the total longevity of our army will increase. Alright, I don't think we need to bombard this. This is pretty small. We could even just bring down a pylon. Just so that we have somewhere slightly faster to warp into.
The final Solarite reactor is being warped aboard now. I will begin installing them as soon as possible.
Thank you, Carax. Alright, let's push up the hill and take the final stabilizer. Then we should be able to save the station. We are losing a lot of Zealots. These Zealots are supposed to be well, actually, there's nothing really these Zealots can attack. Now there is, because they can hit that turret.
Friend Raynor, Sky Shield has been stabilized, and Mobius Core is retreating.
Mission success.
Admiral Horner will take control of the station from here.
Admiral.
Gotta say, I owe you big time for this one, partner.
Matt's moving up in the ranks. Yeah, I don't really know what happened in the Dominion after the end of the previous campaign. Because we overthrew Mansk. And then what? Who becomes... Well, I mean, presumably Valerian becomes leader, but...
It's a hell of a thing your boys did, Artanis. Sky Shield is back online. We're about to call down the cavalry.
We will join you on the surface and extract the keystone.
I got some bad news for you. Seems our friends below had the same idea. While we were fighting to get planetside, the Imperial Palace was raided. Security data indicates the keystone was taken. My mama used to have a saying, when it rains, it floods.
I am uncertain as to how this saying is helpful, friend Raynor.
Me either. Wait a minute. I'm getting intel. A Mobius Core evac team is headed toward Bennett Port. They got the keystone.
We shall not let them escape.
We will take it from them.
The solar core requires your attention, Hierarch. Please visit it at your earliest convenience.
Okay, so first we'll look at some conversation stuff, but I'm betting that that's the permanent upgrades we can start buying. Because I imagine that we'll be able to purchase some permanent upgrades as well as have some that we can change as we go along.
It's looking bad, Artanis. A lot of dead people down there. We gotta take these bastards out.
What could have led these Terrans to come under Amon's thrall?
They were assigned to some top-secret details, running security at Dr. Nerud's hybrid research labs. After Valerian re-established the government, the Mobius Foundation went dark. Last transmissions were chaotic, crazed. Next thing we know, the attack started.
Then Amon has turned them into his slaves. An army. They are dangerous, but they are only the start of the war to come.
You always were the optimistic sort.
It is interesting that Amon has been able to get such influence among the Terrans, because with the Protoss, it makes sense, because the Protoss and the Zerg were created by the Xel'Naga, as I understand it. And Amon was able to leverage that. He took part of the Zerg to make the Swarm, and he genetically engineered them. And the Protoss, he did something, probably genetic engineering as well as whatever, to link them with the Kala, with the idea that later he could come back, or at least he put a backdoor in it, so that later he could come back and he could use the Kala to control the Protoss, and he'd have control of the Zerg through their genes. The Terrans arose separately, so Amon didn't have any leverage over the Terrans, yet now he's managed to get leverage somehow. So that's kind of interesting. Let's go to the War Council and talk to Rohana and see if she has anything to say.
I must remind you, our sacred law, the Deul, clearly forbids us to interfere with lesser beings, unless there is a direct threat to the Empire. Your choice to aid these Terrans is perplexing.
Why do you assume that they are lesser beings, Rohana?
I do not make an assumption. Gaze upon them. Unsophisticated, primitive. They communicate through orifices, mouths.
Many, including myself, once thought as you do. But I have seen their nobility. In time, you will also.
Better. I mean, we need to stick together.
The Solar Matrix Core. Truly an impressive sight.
A synthetic star. Imagine what went into its creation. This chamber provides power to the Spear of Adun and all its systems. Its radiance even contributes nourishment for our warriors.
How long until you can bring its tactical systems online?
System analysis has begun, but the star has lain dormant for an eon. It will take time, and a powerful ignition catalyst like Solarite to restore it to full capacity.
Solarite? The Firstborn haven't utilized Solarite in millennia.
This vessel is ancient, Hierarch. We will need to exhaust even unconventional resources if we are to bring it to bear.
Do what you can, Phase Smith. We will acquire what you need.
Very well. You may begin augmenting the solar core whenever you are ready.
So it's basically a gigantic fusion reactor. Okay.
Select the core to start reviewing your options, Hierarch.
First, let me see what else you have to
You
say.
look different, Phase Smith.
Ah, you must be referring to these mechanical arms. I constructed them to improve my efficiency while running the solar core. So far, they have been quite helpful.
Huh. Okay. So he's got kind of a Doc thing going on.
This array displays an overview of the Spear of Adun's weapon and support systems. Each system can only be configured to have one active ability at a time. You may select different abilities to complement your tactical decisions in different battles, Hierarch. Our current available Solarite is displayed here. Any leftover Solarite can be routed to our auxiliary systems. You may begin diverting Solarite now.
Okay. So let's see. It's free to use Deploy Pylon and Orbital Strike. For the price of Solarite, we can upgrade to Chrono Surge, which increases things by 1,000%, increases speeds of warpins and research by 1,000%. So we can just, like, have an upgrade done pretty much. Or a temporal field creates 3 temporal fields that freeze enemy units and structures in time for 20 seconds. So that freeze enemy units and structures. Cooldown 60. That's a great combat one. This is more of a building one, or specifically researching. Although I suppose, increasing warp speed, you could get a lot of units in. And then potentially in future we can get powerful laser beams, or the ability to just warp in reinforcements to any visible location, so no pylon even required. And the other systems are locked. Auxiliary systems. We can get starting supply and construction time. I mean, that sounds pretty nice. I'm not sure if I really care much about Chrono Surge or Temporal Field. Because, I mean, they don't sound that great. I guess 20 seconds is a long time for units and buildings to be frozen. It also kind of depends on how big the field is. Okay, let's try that. Ooh, nice little animation. So, speeding things up, though, I mean, I can see where that's pretty useful. But I think I'll leave it. I also don't have enough Solarite at the moment anyway to get both Chrono Surge and Temporal Field. So we'll put the rest into... We'll put the rest into starting supply. Because that means we can funnel our initial resources more into just building stuff continuously. While we get our economy going. Because at first, it's kind of difficult to to split your money between building probes and building units and building pylons to increase supply cap. This way we can just focus more on the units themselves until our economy gets underway. Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, having buildings finish faster would be nice, but I really don't think that's necessary. Okay, what's next?
Moby's Corps is making their way to Bennett Port with the artifact. We gotta stop them before they get away with it.
Okay, plain and simple. We've got Thors, we've got tanks and marines. We're getting immortals now. Okay, that makes sense. We've mostly got Thors and tanks, and so we're getting immortals to deal with that. And we'll get an additional 15 Solarite as a reward. I wonder if it would mention if we'd unlock any additional systems or anything like that, like additional upgrade paths for the Solarite. I don't know. Anyway, we will get to that in the next episode. So, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe if you want to see more, and let me know what you think with a comment down below. I'll see you all next time.
Oh look, by repeatedly spam clicking everything, I get monkeys.
I'm pretty sure that there's a monster back there. Oh, he's right there! Oh god, I ran the wrong way! I ran the wrong way! Oh. That could have saved me. Oh. 100 times right now. Oh. Why?